The design, or better said, just a promo art, has been revealed to us that contains Goten, Trunks and Bulma, which pretty much confirms that the two little kids will be on a movie. Despite the art not being designed by the character designer of the movie, Shintani, they are still showing on how they are going to be, and controversy starts there. Goten and Trunks have still not aged physically, despite all this time going. Some people did tend to blame Yamamuro for not growing them on Dragon Ball Super, but also the new character designer Shintani doesn't seem to take that road. And same could be said about Nagamine, who is the movie director, and also all of this ties with Akira Toriyama, who was quite involved on Dragon Ball Super and is also scripting this movie. So why is this happening with Goten and Trunks? Let's bring some light to the darkness. Dragon Ball is a shonen series. There is no real explanation of what shonen really is, or to be more exact, if shonen is a genre or just something that people call it when they're talking about the demography that they are made for. And I don't have the knowledge to give the complete full answer of if shonen is a genre or not, but shonen is for sure a name after the demographic that they are going or aiming for. And shonen demographic is usually made for teenagers and kids, and I should say early teens. This is the demographic that it mostly covers, despite it allowing people of other age to enjoy them just as much. And this brings and ties up with Goten and Trunks and with the way how Dragon Ball is handling them. Many people bring up the argument that age doesn't matter in Dragon Ball, comparing Goku's late growth, Piccolo growing way too early, or just Sans showing signs of being old on later stages of their life. But this is just an excuse for the show to keep Goten and Trunks young. The reason why they don't grow them physically is because of the demographic that the show is aiming for. Most of the viewers are still going to be teenagers or kids, so the show needs to have somebody their age so people watching it can relate to. The older guys simply can't do it because the majority of the cast are old. Young demographic needed some people. Even as Dragon Ball manga was still going on, Toriyama came up with Goten and Trunks to replace Gohan as he was forced to grow Gohan with the time skip that it took. So does this mean that Goten and Trunks will never actually age physically, or that we will never see? Well, most likely not, because Pan and Bra, yes, that is the correct pronunciation, are brought to the show most likely to replace them as the story progresses. But at this moment, Toriyama is clearly strict on keeping the show during the time span that doesn't reach the end of Dragon Ball Z, which shows Goten and Trunks the way they should be. They have been shown on that stage, which confirms that they will reach that, but at the moment they are being very careful with the way how they handle time on Dragon Ball. Even Super took place after Buu instead of after the end of Z. Fair to say, this is all Toriyama work. He wants it to be this way, and there is nothing we can do about it. Yes, maybe it is just Toei that they need somebody to match the demographic, but Toriyama could just have a time skip, so most of the blame should go with Toriyama if you are really not happy with what is going on with Goten and Trunks. The future of Dragon Ball is really blurred at the moment. What we know is that there will be a lot more of Dragon Ball content after this movie, because we can see how successful this movie is despite it not even still being shown. The movie has already been a huge success thanks to the marketing that Toei has done to it. But what is the future going to be? That is the real question. So this movie is still going to take place on the super quote-unquote timeline instead of just moving past Z. So it is still not going to do that. Maybe the future content of Dragon Ball will go beyond Z, but at the moment it is not going there. So we just have to accept that, if you want to enjoy Dragon Ball at least. There are some things that we really need to shut our brains off. Yes, some people say that I don't want to shut my brain off and I'm going to be criticizing the show for that, but at this point, you criticizing the show for this, it doesn't even matter anymore, because they are well aware of what they are doing. If they thought that having Z on that time, having Super on that time span was a mistake, they would have fixed it with this. But they are clearly comfortable with what they have done, and they don't look to be changing it, at least for the time being. So I explained it why Goten and Trunks are not growing old at the moment, and physically, because their age is still working the way it should, it's just normal, but they are not just aging physically, so the demographic can relate to somebody on the show, and that is the complete reason onto why. And as for now, we just have to make peace with that. But I hope you enjoyed it, guys. If you did, please leave a like, comment your thoughts down below, and subscribe to the channel with notifications enabled if you don't want to miss out in any further content. As far as this video goes, guys, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.